Alright, welcome everyone. It's Tuesday. I just returned from the mountains in Kawaguchiko. Kawaguchiko is a place next to Mount Fuji, and it was very nice. I had a nice little time in the mountains. We had a workshop boot camp study thing for one of my PhD seminars, and it was really nice. Good vibes. So overall, was just was a great time. Was a great time, and we just just vibed. And now I'm back at home. Literally just got back before the stream started, and so I'm so shiny because I've been in the sun all day. Japan's really hot right now. It was actually super nice in the mountain. In the mountains, it was so nice. It was actually cold in the evening too. Oh my god. In Tokyo, it's hot all the time. At least in the mountains, it was actually like it would cool down a little bit in the evening. Alright, so one talking to me is like, so it looks like we're introducing Magnolia masks all of a sudden. What does that mean? What is that supposed to imply? The set is 1 week away. Oh, don't tell me that. That means I have to spend money soon. I don't like that. Although there's really not that much that's excited me so far in this set. Like, I'm not too big on the cat. The cat is really strong, but I'm like not too interested in building it myself. I don't really like... Well, I like playing Magnolia Elder, but I wouldn't say that I'm that interested in the rest. Oh, the Osu Summer Festival will have a Vanguard booth. Wow, so there's just a cultural... There's an actual cultural festival happening in Nagoya where they will have a booth for Vanguard. So you can learn the game and have fun. That's really cool, actually. That's really... Because, like, obviously people, like, families come with their kids to these festivals and stuff. Or, you know, also just adults also. So them getting to learn the game is nice. Alright, so, Dear Days kids, listen up. The 5th DLC update is coming out this Thursday, which is gonna be the Minerva Rising set, and I will be streaming all day long. So if you want to come tune in for fun good times, make sure you join, because I will be streaming all day on Thursday, which is one of the days of the week of the 4th in order. And it's also the day where we're gonna have the Granblue vs Rising beta. So I'll also be you know, doing a little streamsies of that too. Alright, so if you want to easily pick up FRs and FFRs and stuff, you can get this, the rare card set, but you should not actually, because they're a scam and you can just pull these cards for free anyway. Scam news, lamau! The animation in this episode is pretty cool, but we will talk about the cat in a bit once they do the official reveal, because I want to see what the supporting cards are. Alright, there's the cat. Among Us masks. Literally, she has Ominagruzio, so it's like A, M, and G are all represented in her name. So it's Among Us. Alright, so Bouchard is finally launching an official, proper judge program for Vanguard in Japan. Believe it or not, this is the first time we actually have a judge program for Vanguard. So they probably saw that it worked out really well with Shadowverse Evolve. And so they're doing it now for Vanguard as well. Alright, let's get the funny weird cat ride line in here. First things first, we have an actual cat as the grade 0. Okay, bros. Okay. I see how it is. Anyway, here's a crow. The cat turned into a crow. That's crazy. Ominagruzio. Among Us Rogue. Among Us Rogue is this one's name. Vanguard took it once per turn, Soul Blast 1. Look at the top 5 of your deck. Find a Ominagruzio grade 3 or greater, reveal it, add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. If you did not, Soul Charge 2. So you basically Soul Charge 1, because you have to Soul Blast your starter. Rogue. Among Us Krog. Among Us Krog. Alright, Among Us Owls. So when this is written by... when this writes over the Among Us Rogue, you can search your deck for a trigger unit, put it to Soul, and shuffle your deck. If you put something to Soul, draw a card. Okay, it pluses. Very nice. It does thin your deck out of a trigger, but I mean it, you know, it fuels your whole deck. right? It feels what the deck wants to do. It's an act. It's when you ride over it. It's an auto. The green box means auto. Just run a draw. I mean, I feel like this deck will have to run draws anyway because, you know, you don't really plus in it. Like this is a draw, so that's a, you know, but every ride line pluses. Does this? Oh, I guess this whole ride line kind of works for Unica, doesn't it? All right, Ominagruzio. When placed on Vanguard circle, look at the top 5 of your deck. Find either a Ominagruzio card or a Mask of Hydrogroom. Reveal it, add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. Top 5 search is pretty oof though. Like, that's actually a little rough. And then, okay, this is the effect we all want to know about. Soul Blast 1 once per turn act. Choose from your drop a trigger unit, bind it for that turn. When your opponent would damage check a unit with that trigger icon, they do not increase the power. They don't get the power bonus from the trigger. So to explain it in simple terms, if you bind a crit and your opponent checks a defensive crit, then you get to not let them gain power from getting a defensive crit. Trigger denial. Yeah, so this one is not as... This was actually... This is kind of mid. So the masks is the one that we saw in the... The mask is the one that we saw from the anime, which is really good. This one is like, if you go first and you can't go into the... I mean, you can go into the masks, right? Using the masks. But you don't get the power, right? So even if you go into the masks off of this, you don't get any power from it. So it's just a 13k restanding Vanguard without Persona Ride on it. So I guess they're being pretty careful with it. Like, I think when we saw what the deck does in the anime, we were like, whoa, what is this? What is going on, right? But then now it's like, the plussing, I feel like it has a bit of a plussing issue because everything is a top 5 search except for like the trigger search by the grade 2. And we already know what the reverse, not the reverse, the masks does. And the mask is really good, but the mask is a Vanguard restander that puts stuff to soul, so it triggers your stuff, which is good, triggers effects. And it denies trigger icon power increase. And it also denies it minuses 5k shield from triggers that your opponent guards with that you have in the bind zone. So I mean, they will reveal in a second, we'll talk about it more, but yeah, the minus is shield. You have to bring 4 of the OG? Yeah, because otherwise you can't keep building your bind. There's actually no other way to build bind in this deck, right? I like the background of this card. I like the eyes. Like if you really look at like the background stuff. Oh, this one's different. So this is the one we saw from the anime. So if you haven't seen it yet, let me talk about the effect first, and then we'll talk about what I think of the card. So you can only ride this over a grade 3 Ominagruzio, and you can then, as an act skill, once per turn, remove from your hand, soul, or drop a different named Ominagruzio from the game, and you choose a trigger unit from your drop and put it in, and bind it. And for that turn, your Vanguard gets the red text skill that says each of the different... Okay, let me just say, when your opponent would guard with a trigger that you have in your bind zone, that trigger's shield is minus 5,000 power. So they don't stack, but if you have like... You can collect the different ones to minus 5k on every single trigger, but if you put like 2 crits, it's not going to be 10k. It's not going to be minus 10k. And then on top of that, when your opponent would damage check those triggers, they don't gain the power from the defensive. So it's like a Valios. It's like a Valios. So, yeah. Basically a Valios with like a little bit of Chrono Fang. And then the second skill is, at the end of the ballot, attack almost 1 and put 2 of your back row rearguards to your soul to stand this unit and lose the drive. So this part, like reading just this card, I was like, whoa, this deck is going to be so insane. I generally thought this deck might be a problem initially because I was like, this is like, it denies defensives, it's a Valios, and like, you know, I thought that it's like all this kind of other, you know, I was like, it's a Valios, it's a restanding Vanguard, it's also like, you know, bit of a Chrono Fang. But then I kind of was like, you like one thing is that like I knew that the ride line loses you triggers from your deck somehow, which isn't great in a very trigger reliant format right now because it's pretty fast. But the fact that it's, you know, it's a restander is pretty good. It doesn't minus for the restand. It puts 2 cards from your rears to soul, and Darkseid has a lot of cards that trigger from being put to soul from rear. And then on top of that, you can use some of the generic cards, like the one from set 9, the triple rare, that calls stuff from your soul to the same column, and then all this kind of other stuff. So you have that. She loses the drive, but you don't minus for the restand technically, so that's pretty good. But the big problem thing is that the plussing seems to rely entirely on looking at the top, which feels a bit so it feels pretty like you have to run 8 copies of this thing to not whiff, to actually be able to plus. And then on top of that, I feel like you also need to keep in mind that this doesn't gain any power. So it valioses your opponent, but the grade 2 draws, yeah, once per game. You need more than that to have decent enough card draw in this format. So yeah, I mean, I guess the drive is some form of plussing, but technically minus from field, so. And the fact that it doesn't gain power, I feel like is pretty huge. So if you go first and you just use the mass to go into this, it's a 13k swinging twice, and it's like it doesn't really matter if your opponent doesn't let you increase power from defensives, because you just drop 2 15ks and you're done, right? You drop 2 15ks against this, 2 to pass once, 15k the second time, that's no pass, we're done, right? To put it simply, don't like this deck. It's not that I don't like it, it's just, it's more so I'm reflecting, because on Sunday when this episode, no, Saturday when this episode aired, I thought the deck was insane. I thought it was, I was like, this is no, there's no way this is like, they made a card like this. I was already going like, oh my god, this is busted. But wait, there's more support, so maybe we'll be busted, who knows. This says draw a card. During your turn, for each different trigger icon in your bind zone, this unit gets plus 5k power, okay. Daisuke is a card art as well. And when placed on rearguard circle, for if you have 2 or more different trigger icons in your bind zone, you soul blast 2 to draw a card. This thing looks like a deleter. It definitely does. Okay, I like this. This is good. If there's more plussing like this, then this deck could be pretty nuts. Another cat. Is this a cat? His name is Misery Winged Dragon. I don't think that's a cat. Okay, what is this? When this unit's placed on rear, you may soul charge 1. Okay, new swirler. Cool. And a rearguard circle. If you have an Ominagruzio Vanguard, or if your Ominagruzio Vanguard would put this to soul by its cost, it counts as 2 units instead of 1. Okay. The deck is getting better now. It's getting better. Also, this dude has like insane drip. This dude is like, what is this drip, bros? What is this drip? It's good. Greed on support. Kinda based. This almost cracked NLK. Yeah, it needs an Ominagruzio Vanguard, by the way. Yeah, I guess like now the cat, it still hasn't solved the power. No, okay, it's not an issue, right? And let me put it this way. If this deck starts getting like red text front row power, then we have a problem. But this is pretty damn good. I mean, you soul charge 2, then you put 1 to soul basically when you have this guy on it, and still drive check 1 more. I think the deck will be good. I think it will be good, but I honestly was like, for a second when the reveals happened in the anime, I thought this might be a single deck meta. I thought this was like they messed up, but now it's like it's looking pretty chill. Now it's looking pretty chill for how much they tease and sort of hyped up the deck. It should at least be good. I mean, we've definitely had decks that were hyped up for a long. Look at Orphis, it's right there. You know how much they hyped up this goddamn Orphis and how much he freaking fell off like a noodle. Shakehead. All right, it's a triple rare. Magnolia masks, look at it. It's so fluffy still, but it's sitting in an ugly swamp. Alright, Magnolia mask says you can only ride this from a grade 3 Magnolia. And during your turn, all of your rearguard circles that, all the rearguards on your rearguard circles that have dragon tree markers on them can attack from the back row and gain plus 10k power. And then once per turn, you can remove from your drop soul or hand a different name Magnolia from the game. And for that turn, she gains the red tech skill. When your rearguard from the back row attacks your opponent's Vanguard, you choose an opponent's rearguard and retire it. It doesn't cost CB. It doesn't cost CB. You can still run inlet pulls. The retire is still there. It's like a I guess it's like a better Elder, no? Because Elder only gave plus... How much did Elder give again? Plus 5? But how are you setting up that many? How are you setting up that many? Yeah, the power gain is pretty huge. So you need to set up 3 markers. That means your front row hits like a noodle. Or I guess with Persona, right, everything gets plus 10k. CB3 to make 3 markers. That's right. Even 2 markers is fine since you can just boost. That's true, yeah. Can I read Mag's full name? Yakusai no Jukaku Juo Magnolia Masks. Okay, Magnolia bros, how good is this? I played Magnolia Elder quite a lot. That's the only time I played Magnolia. So I'd like to know what your thoughts are on this right now. Give me your thoughts. Seems solid. 3 to 5, pretty good. The retire seems really good. Like this deck suddenly getting like triple retire is like, oh. Okay, alright. We still want the DT generators as well. Thing is, the DT generators are like order based in Stoicheia, so it's like I guess you're kind of forced to play some orders in this deck now. Okay, support card looks like an Ouroboros dragon, bro. Aurora Borealis. All your trash rearguards become big. It's pretty good, yeah, 10k is nice. Alright. Os do Guro Dragon says, when this unit is placed in a rearguard circle outside of your battle phase, if your Vanguard is Magnolia Masks, you can count us to 1, choose a grade 3 or lower from your drop, and call it to your rearguard circle that has a... Oh no! Call it to your rearguard circles equal to the amount of dragon tree markers you have on your rearguard circles. Okay. Okay. And then rearguard circle, when it attacks, you have a Magnolia when it attacks, choose a Magnolia Vanguard and give it plus 5k. If you have 20 markers, you call 20. No way, bro. That's crazy. Now we're playing Luard, bro. Yeah, I guess Magnolia seems like this is actually good support. Like I feel like Magnolia has been on that kind of weird level for a very long time. And this actually feels like it pushes it a bit higher, you know? They gave her an update. It's like a patch. It's like, oh, sorry. Your last form only gave 5k to your rears, but the current power level is gone up to 10k, so we'll make your next form give 10k to rears. And I guess Magnolia effects have always been quite simple, so... Whoa! Secret! Secret! Oh my god! I think the one thing with Magnolia... Okay, I'm sorry, I should stop talking about Magnolia. Look at the secret! Look at this graph! I think the one thing I don't like with Magnolia is that I wish she would make a marker herself. I wish she would just... Why does it have to rely on the rears? Why can't they make markers themselves? It's always like this. Whoa! I went to get water and they made a Megumi secret. That's crazy. Why does she look so like... Why does she not look evil? What's happening? Well, good news for Megumi fans. It's Magnolia walking through poison water. Although, I've seen... How do you guys feel about masks at this point? Are you still hyped when you see a unit get a mask? I feel like now it feels like anything can get a mask. Alright, so next week, we're gonna get the cards that are gonna be revealed in set 4, not set 4, the episode 4. And because it's the week of release, they're gonna open some packs and show off the actual products and like all the secrets and stuff like that, so pretty cool. You still like it? You find it cool? Some people find it mid. I feel like it's lost some of its hype. I think initially, masks were super hype, but now I'm just like, okay, it's just another masks. I feel like reverses kind of felt like that towards the end as well. Because reverses lasted for a very long time. Reverses went on, I think in English releases, they went on from the winter all the way to like the end of summer, start of fall. My hope for Mask was that they would act as a cool side evolutions, but these all feel like just the next version doesn't really feel like special. That makes sense. That's what Reverse was too, though. That's what Reverse was as well. It's nothing different. Reverse was completely just the next form, and it wasn't actually like a side thing or anything. Except for like, because then some units would get purified versions, like Lukier. Lukier would get her, you know, Lukier will get her Venus form. So now Leonorn is also gonna have her Venus form, right? And you felt the same about Reverse. Well, it's not gonna change. All right. Interesting Tuesday stream, I guess. Pretty interesting.